Okay, well, good morning, ninth grade and some eighth graders. I want to let you know that today is the last lesson of the year. You guys finally made it. We're on page 538. Just want to say you guys worked really hard this year. I appreciated having you in class. Some of you didn't make the Zoom yesterday, but that's okay. I really am going to miss you guys. For some of you that may not know, I will not be teaching at RCA next year, so that's kind of sad, and I will miss all of you guys. I've enjoyed teaching so much. You made this year really special, so thank you for just your hard work and effort. So this is the last lesson. This is the last assignment of the year. So hang in there. You're almost done. Well done on persevering in the midst of coronavirus. So here we are on 13.2, page 538. So we're going to look at example 2 to start with, okay? But before we really get there, I just want to say this lesson, if you remember, if you have 4 over 8 times something like 6 over, not 12, 6 over 18, you remember you can cancel whatever they have in common across, right? Like each of these has a 2, so I can divide by 2, and this divided by 2 is 9. I can do the same thing here, right? 8 and 6 each have a 2 in them, and it becomes like that, right? And then we multiply across, we get 6 over, oh, sorry, not done yet. So then we have this, and then I can simplify even more, because I have this 2 and this 4, and it becomes 1 over 2. And now when I multiply, I get 3 over 18, and even that simplifies to 1 over 6, right? So the idea here is that we can cross out across when we're multiplying. So in example 2, we have 3a squared c squared all over 2b times 10a over 9bc. Okay, and then when we go to do this, the first thing that I can do is take out the numbers. There's a 9 and there's a 3, right? 3 goes into 9 1 out of 3 times, right? And then this 5 down here goes into the 10 1 out of 5 times, right? This 2 goes in that 10 5 times. So now I multiply the 1 times the 5 up here, and I get 5 over, and I do 1 times the 3, 3. So that's the first part. But now I get a look at my variables, b, c, a squared, c squared, and b. And it's whatever is across either this way or this way. Okay, so is there a b over here or over here? No. So that b is going to stay. But then look, I have another b, and so this has to get this thing times this b becomes b squared. Now I look down here to this c right here, and I say, oh, nope, that a stays. But look at that. There's a c squared over here. I can cancel him out and make that 1. Okay, so this is the bottom now, here in red, 3b squared. And at the top, I take this a squared, and I multiply it by that a, and I get a cubed. And then I take this c to the 1, right? That's what I had left to make that. So you can see that they do that there for you on example 2, but that's what it looks like. 5a cubed c, all of that divided by 3b squared. Okay, now the same thing, in the same way we could do that, we can do it with trinomials and polynomials. So this is example 3. So you want to follow along on this example. So we have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, all of that divided by 2x plus 2y, all of that times 18 over x squared y squared. Well, there's a lot of variables going on. So what we do is we take each one individually. I'll take this one and factor it. Then I'll take this one and factor it, and this one and factor it. Okay, so let's start with this guy. What does he factor out to? Well, he's x and x. We have a y and a y, and added together we get 2. So that's just plus, right? X plus y, x plus y. Now I take this blue one and I factor it down here. So I'm not changing where it's at. What can I take out of each one? I can take a 2 out. So I'm left with 2x plus y. Now all of that is times. See the 18, it stays the same. What is this right here? Well, that's a difference of squares, right? There's a difference, and we can take the square root. So we get x plus y, x minus y. Now at this stage, it looks like our previous problem. All I do is cross out things that are in the same group, right? So this x minus y, he doesn't have any friends, so he stays the same. But look right here, this x plus y crosses out with that x plus y. Then this x plus y crosses out with that x plus y. Wow, isn't that amazing? We just crossed them out. Now look at this 2 and this 18. 2 goes in 18, right? 1 and 9. So this transfers to 9, right? 9 times, oh, there's nothing up here left, so it's just 9, over, this is a 1. 1 times x minus y is simply just x minus y, and there is my final answer. Okay, so it's just combining all the things we've done over the last few weeks, combining them all into one step. Okay, so if you would now please look with me to example 4. Okay, we're going to do the next one. So this is example 4. So this one we have x cubed minus x squared minus 72x, all of that, over 3x squared, all of that, times 12x over x squared plus x minus 56. Okay? So again, I do one piece at a time. Right? Now, if you look up there, what does that have in common? It has an x in common. So I'm going to pull that out and say, okay, what then would give me x? So when I factor that out, I'm going to be left with x squared minus x minus 72. So what in the red will give me that? Well, I know it's going to be x and x. 72 is 9 times 8, and it's going to be negative 9 because overall I get a negative. So it's negative 9, positive 8. Okay? Then I come down here to this guy, and the blue guy, he stays the same, right? I can't factor anything out. He's just 3x squared. Then I have times 12x. Again, I can't factor anything out. He just stays the same. But then I factor this blue one, right? And that's x. What times what is 56? Well, it's 8 times 7. And again, it's a minus. So one of them is minus, but look at that. It's a plus. So the bigger one has to be plus. And now I've done this. Now I've gotten to this step right here. Right? Let me erase up here so I have space. Now I've got to this step here that's in the black square. And all I do here is I say, here's an x plus 8 and x plus 8. They're gone. Here's an x and there's an x. So I cross him off and I take away the squared and he's just 1. But then look at this. Here's an x and here's an x. So now those x's are gone. And this guy stays the same, right? X minus 9. I know he's gonna be part of the answer because he's up there. But then look at this. I have 12 and 3. That goes in 1 and that goes in 4 times. So I'm going to have 4 times x minus 9. And all of that is over what's left. What's 1 times x minus 7? Well, that's simply just x minus 7. And there is my final answer. Okay, as you see there on example 4. Not too bad, right? Just one step at a time. Now, let's go on to example 5, just a reminder, right? So if this is EX5, so just a reminder, if you have x squared divided by 3y squared, and then you have that divided by the x over 9y, or what you do is you have to do keep flip change. So you do keep this one, x squared by 3y squared, then that turns into a times, which I'm going to write as a dot, just so we don't get confused with the x. That's the change, right, of that. And then we flip these guys. And we get 9y divided by x. Now look, what can we cross out? X and x. So now we have x to the 1. Y and y. So now we have x. And we have this 9. But look right here. This 3 can go into 9 3 times. So we're going to have 3x. X times 3 right there. So 3x over what's y on the bottom. That's all we have left. So 3x divided by y. Okay, and then this is going to play itself out in our last example, and then I'll let you have the homework. This is example number 6, and it is our last problem that we're going to work through. So it's x squared plus 3x plus 2, all divided by x squared plus x plus 2. Sorry, minus 2. That's important. Minus 2, and then look, it's divided by x, what's that? X squared plus 2x plus 1, all divided by x squared minus 1. Okay, now, again, I look at this division sign. I say I got to do a flip. So I'm just going to, this guy stays the same, right? He's the keep, so we just keep him. So I need to factor this top one, which I'm going to underline here in blue. Let's factor him. So we're going to have x times x. What times what is 2? Well, we know it's got to be 2 and 1, and added together, they're 3, so it's just plus and plus. Now this guy down here, which I'm going to underline in green, he is going to be x, again, it's 2, so it's got to be 2 and 1. But this time it's a minus, so one of them is going to be minus, but look at this, the bigger one is positive, plus and minus. Okay, now instead of writing this as a divide by, I need to write this as a multiply and flip these. So on top is now going to be what I have under in red. Okay, so that's going to be x, and it's the difference of squares, right? You can take the square root, so it's 1 and 1, plus and minus. All of that divided by, now I'm going to do what's up here in blue. He's going to be x and x. Again, 1 times 1, and they're both positive. Okay, so now I just cancel out what's left, right? So I come over here with the black, and I say, here's x plus 1 and x plus 1. X minus 1, x minus 1. X plus 1, x plus 1. X plus 2, x plus 2. Look at that. So what am I left with? All that is 1 times 1 over 1 times 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1. So the answer to all this is simply 1. And so it just so happened to work out when we did that, it came out to nothing left, except for the answer to solve all of those problems was to just put a 1 in there. Okay? So that's how the homework's going to work. You just do one step at a time. It's really not too bad. So this is 13.2, our last lesson of the year, and we are on page 540. And the lesson here is 2 through 26 even. Okay, and that is all that we are going to do. You have until Monday to do this, and then all that you have left is just make up work, okay? So again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for making this year really special. I'm really thankful for you all, and I'm praying for you guys as you go into the summer break and go into next year. That's it. Mr. H for the last time. It's over now.